The night was dark and still as Sarah, a young woman in her 20s, settled into her new home. It was an old Victorian house that had stood for centuries, its imposing presence sending shivers down her spine. Despite the eerie atmosphere, Sarah felt a strange fascination with the house and its rich history. As the clock struck midnight, a sudden chill ran through the air, causing Sarah to shudder involuntarily. Unease settled within her, but she dismissed it as her imagination playing tricks. Little did she know that lurking in the shadows, a group of intruders had set their sights on her home. In the dead of night, masked figures silently approached the house, their intentions sinister and unknown. They moved with calculated precision, avoiding detection as they skillfully disabled the security system. Sarah was unaware of the danger that awaited her within the walls of her supposed sanctuary. As Sarah drifted into a restless sleep, a noise stirred her from her slumber. Her heart raced as she listened intently, the creaking of floorboards echoing through the darkness. Fear gripped her, her mind racing to make sense of the ominous sounds that invaded her home. She clutched her phone tightly, ready to call for help, but to her horror, she discovered the line was dead. Panic welled up inside her, and she knew she had to rely on her own wits to survive the night. With trembling hands, she grabbed a flashlight and cautiously made her way downstairs, her senses heightened in anticipation of the unknown. As she descended into the lower levels of the house, a sickening realization washed over her. The masked intruders had breached her sanctuary, and she was now trapped in a deadly game of cat and mouse. Every corner held the potential for danger, and she had to stay one step ahead if she wanted to survive. Sarah's heart pounded in her chest as she moved silently through the darkened rooms, her flashlight casting eerie shadows on the walls. The intruders seemed to materialize out of thin air, their masked faces leering at her from the darkness. It was a terrifying dance, as she evaded their grasp time and again, her instincts driving her to find a way out. The old house seemed to conspire against her, its labyrinthine layout working against her escape. Doors slammed shut behind her, trapping her in narrow corridors. She could hear their sinister whispers, their footsteps growing closer with each passing moment. Desperation fueled her as she found herself in a room bathed in moonlight. A broken window offered a glimmer of hope, a way to break free from this nightmare. She hurled herself through the jagged glass, feeling the sting of shards grazing her skin, but the pain was insignificant compared to the terror that pursued her. With adrenaline coursing through her veins, Sarah sprinted into the night, the pounding of her footsteps echoing in her ears. She didn't look back, fearing that even a moment's hesitation would seal her fate. She ran until her legs gave way, collapsing in exhaustion and relief as the distant wails of sirens filled the air. The house stood as a haunting reminder of the night's horrors, its dark secrets, and the intruders who had sought to claim Sarah's life. The scars, both physical and emotional, would forever serve as a reminder of the terrors that lurk behind closed doors. And Sarah, forever changed by the ordeal, would never forget the chilling invasion that had threatened to consume her very existence. In the quaint town of Oakwood, a group of 5 friends embarked on a weekend getaway to an isolated cabin deep within the woods. Emily, Alex, Lily, Mark, and Ryan were thrilled at the prospect of spending quality time together, escaping the pressures of everyday life. Little did they know that their trip would take a sinister turn Ryan could never have anticipated. As they arrived at the rustic cabin, nestled amidst towering trees, a sense of tranquility washed over Ryan. The air was crisp, and the promise of adventure hung in the atmosphere. They unloaded their belongings and settled in, eager to explore the surrounding wilderness. The first night was filled with laughter and camaraderie as they sat around a crackling fire, sharing stories and toasting marshmallows. Shadows danced on the cabin walls, heightening the spooky ambiance. Unbeknownst to them, an unseen presence lurked, observing their every move from the depths of the forest. The next day, fueled by curiosity and a desire for adventure, the group decided to hike to a nearby abandoned mansion rumored to be haunted. Excitement tinged with apprehension as Ryan made his way through the dense woods, the path becoming increasingly treacherous. Upon reaching the decrepit mansion, a chill ran down Ryan's spine. The The once grand structure stood as a desolate reminder of a forgotten era, its broken windows and crumbling walls whispering secrets of the past. Undeterred, he ventured inside, his footsteps echoing eerily through the empty rooms. As Ryan explored the mansion, strange occurrences plagued his senses. Whispers echoed through the hallways, and doors slammed shut on their own accord. Each step deeper into the mansion brought him closer to a terrifying revelation. It wasn't long before Ryan realized he was not alone. A malevolent force toyed with his mind, preying on his fears and insecurities. The group's bonds were tested as the entity manipulated their emotions, pitting friend against friend in a nightmarish game. Darkness enveloped the mansion as Ryan desperately searched for an escape. The air grew thick with an oppressive energy, and terror clung to his every breath. He had become an unwilling player in a macabre spectacle orchestrated by an ancient evil. His once unbreakable friendship fractured under the weight of fear and paranoia. Trust faded, replaced by suspicion and desperation. Each step brought him closer to the heart of the mansion, where the true nature of his torment awaited. In a final act of defiance, Ryan rallied together with the remaining friends, determined to confront the malevolent force head-on. They unearthed the mansion's dark secret, a hidden history of tragedy and malevolence that fueled the vengeful spirit haunting the house. In a climactic showdown, they confronted the entity, wielding their collective strength and resilience. A battle of wills ensued, light against darkness, as they fought to break free from its suffocating grip. Their unity became their greatest weapon, and in a burst of supernatural energy, they banished the entity back into the depths of the mansion. Exhausted and scarred, Ryan emerged from the mansion, forever changed by his harrowing experience. His bond with the remaining friends, though tested, emerged stronger than ever as they made their way back to the safety of the cabin. They left Oakwood with a newfound appreciation for the fragility of life and the strength of friendship. The haunted mansion remained a distant memory, a testament to their resilience in the face of unimaginable horror. And in the years that followed, their shared experience would serve as a reminder of the bonds forged in the crucible of fear. In the quiet suburbs of Crestwood, James Johnson, a loving father and husband, moved his family into a charming old house on Elmwood Lane. Little did he know that his dream of providing a peaceful family life would soon unravel in the most horrifying of ways. As James settled his family into their new home, he couldn't help but notice an eerie energy that seemed to emanate from the house. Shadows danced on the walls, and an unsettling stillness hung in the air. But he dismissed his initial unease, attributing it to the unfamiliarity of their surroundings. One fateful night, as the Johnsons gathered around the dinner table, a sudden chill swept through the room, causing James to shiver involuntarily. The lights flickered, casting an eerie glow over their worried faces. He exchanged concerned glances with his wife, Lisa, sensing that something was amiss. Then, piercing the silence, a blood-curdling scream filled the air. James's heart skipped a beat as he raced towards the source, finding his daughter Emma standing in the hallway, trembling with fear. Her face was pale, her eyes wide with terror as she tried to explain a shadowy figure lurking in her room, watching her every move. James's protective instincts kicked in, and he began searching the house, room by room, desperate to find any sign of an intruder. But his efforts yielded no results. Lisa and he tried to reassure Emma, attributing her claims to an overactive imagination. However, deep down, James couldn't shake off the lingering unease that settled within him. Night after night, the family was plagued by unexplained phenomena. Objects moved on their own, strange noises echoed through the halls, and an oppressive presence seemed to suffocate their sleep. James and Lisa shared concerned whispers in the darkness, vowing to protect their children and find a solution to the inexplicable occurrences. The sleepless nights took their toll on the family. Dark circles formed under their eyes, and tensions ran high as fear gripped their hearts. They reached out to paranormal experts, seeking guidance, and delved into the history of their home. What they discovered sent chills down James's spine. The house had a dark past, tied to a tragic event that had claimed the lives of a previous family. Restless spirits seemed to roam its halls, determined to drag the Johnsons into their abyss of despair. James knew he had to fight for his family's safety and peace of mind. Together, as a family, they embarked on a journey to uncover the truth behind the haunting. James spent countless hours researching, seeking answers in old diaries and newspaper clippings. The pieces slowly came together, revealing a tale of betrayal, sorrow, and unresolved grievances. The malevolent presence grew stronger, escalating its attacks on the family. James's resolve was tested as he witnessed terrifying manifestations and fought against psychological torment. But he refused to let fear consume him or his loved ones. With the help of a determined medium, they performed a cleansing ritual, determined to release the trapped spirits from their earthly tethers. It was a moment of profound courage and vulnerability as they faced the vengeful entities head-on, demanding peace and salvation. In a burst of supernatural energy, the house trembled, and the tormented spirits were finally laid to rest. The air cleared, and a profound sense of calm settled over the Johnson family. James felt a weight lift off his shoulders as he looked at his wife and children, grateful for their safety and the newfound serenity that surrounded them. As they stood together, surrounded by the remnants of their battle, James held his family close. They had endured the darkest of nights and emerged stronger, their bond forged by the shared experience. He vowed to cherish every moment with them, to protect and support them through life's trials, forever grateful for the love and resilience that had carried them through the haunting.